Hey everyone, it's Ben, and today we're going to take a look at a sweet new Fenix flashlight. Stick with me, you're watching Living Survival. So today we're going to take a look at the Fenix TK47. Now they have a TK47 UE, which is their Ultimate Edition, but I prefer the TK47. We'll go into why in a moment. This light would make a great light for not only law enforcement as a duty light, definitely would work for security. People in security would work as a good car light or hunting light, would work also as a great home security light. Let your dogs out at night, you're certainly going to be able to see them way out in the distance with this. It's got a very, very long distance beam. So let's take a look at some of the details. So they call this the TK47 Tactical Duty Flashlight. It would make for a good duty flashlight. Might be a little big for most officers, but again, leaving it in the car would be a great option, not only for law enforcement, but also for just something that any ordinary person would leave in the car as part of their car kit. You could set this under your seat, you could set it in your glove box, you could even probably mount it right down along the side of your seat, and it's going to give you a lot of light and a very long distance light, 700 meters or up to 700 meters in fact, with a maximum output of 1300 lumens. Now the Ultimate Edition is going to shine brighter. That one shines over 3000 lumens. However, the distance is cut in half, very similar to what we saw with the ThruNite TN40, which was a very bright light, but it only reached out so far. And then we had the TN42, which was about half the lumen output, but outshined it by about twice as much. So I prefer this one, not only because it shoots a very, very long beam, a very precise beam out in the distance, but it's also a neutral white LED. It has the XHP35 LED in it, neutral white, and again, as you've seen in some of my previous flashlight videos, I'm really liking the neutral white bulbs when it comes to flashlights. The TK47 comes with a pass-through holster. It's got Velcro up front and then Velcro in the back, so you can take it on and off your belt without having to remove your belt. It is pass-through so that the bottom passes right through the holster. The holster itself is about half the size of the light. You're looking at about 10.5 inches of overall length here. It takes two 18650s. That's another benefit over the ThruNites, which took four 18650s. Less batteries. You can carry two in the light, two spares, and you'd be good to go. It has a decent runtime. We'll look at those numbers in a moment. Due to the very deep reflector, it gives you the ability to shoot out that 700 meters or 2,296 feet. You have a solid or a polished mode button here on the side. Very, very nice quality. As with all Fenix lights, very, very nice fit and finish. You have some different unique style knurling here, almost a threaded knurling, which I find is pleasing. It's very comfortable to hold. It's weighted really nicely, so you can hold it right up front. You could hold it traditional style. You could hold it more towards the rear. You could hold it, just about in any position, and it's very comfortable. It's a lot like a baton or an asp, so I like that. If you were to, clock somebody with this, it would probably hurt. It does have a strike bezel on the top here, but some more unique features of this light are that it has a rear light as well that can be used as a lantern, and it also has a red light, which we'll look at more in detail in a moment. It does come with a lanyard as well. So overall, just a great light. And again, this one I chose over the Ultimate Edition because it shoots farther and it is less expensive as well. The TK47 is very easy to operate as well. Simply long hold or long press, and that's going to turn the light on and off. It does have memory, so it's going to go back to the last mode that you had it on. If we cycle it up into one of the brighter modes, hold it down to turn it off, hold it down to turn it back on, you can see that it's going to go right back into that mode. So we'll cycle back down into the low mode. This is 10 lumens. It's going to run for 220 hours. So those two 18650s are going to give you a ton of runtime on this light, even up into the higher lumen levels. We can jump up another level there. That's 100 lumens. It's going to run for 40 hours. Jump up again, 400 lumens, which is plenty of light. That's going to run for 7 hours and 15 minutes. So if you use this as a hunting light or even search and rescue, you could leave it on this 400 lumen mode and you're going to get 7 hours worth of juice. double that if you carry a spare set of batteries. And then on up into its brightest, which is 1300 lumens. Again, very, very bright. Jumps out 700 lumens or 700 meters, as we'll look at in a moment in the night shots. And even this mode will run for nearly 2 hours, 1 hour and 50 minutes at its brightest. Of course, it does have thermal protection, so if it does get hot, it's going to step down. It is IPX, I believe, 6 or IP68 water resistant, and of course it is drop resistant, polarity protection, overheat protection, all the protections that are built into all the high quality Fenix lights. Then we have what I think is very unique on this light. Haven't seen this on another light. We can long press again to turn the back on, and you get a lantern. It's a 30 lumen lantern, and that is very nice. You can set it up on a table. It's going to give you perimeter light, so I find that that's very, very handy. We can press it again. It's going to give you a red light, so you could use that for ultra low light reading. You could flip it around. You could read a map with that. To get to your strobe special mode, you simply just hold down the button. You can do this from off or on, no matter what brightness level you're in. You can get right to that strobe by holding it down. Just press it again, it's going to toggle you right back into your brightness modes. Again, you can long press it even when it's on, and it will get you into that special strobe mode. It does have a lockout mode, not something you're probably going to use if you're actively using the light, but if you store it in the sheath, throw it in a bag, for example, you might want to lock out the light. You simply just double click, and then it's going to give you 2 flashes, and that locks out the light. So I can't turn the light on. I can't hold it down to turn the light on. It's just going to give me that flash until I double click again, and then that'll release the lock, and I can go about its normal functions. The tail cap has 2 special functions. We can hold it down to get into our lantern mode and cycle through. So we go from lantern mode to red light mode, then we have a flashing red light, we hit it again, and then that's going to give us our SOS red light. So you've got 4 modes in the back: white, red, flashing, SOS, 4 modes, and then you've got your 4 brightness levels on the main switch here. 8 modes plus your strobe gives you the 9 total modes. Because some of you will ask, the only place that the TK47 unscrews is at the tail cap where you replace the batteries. There is dual springs inside, so it gives it a little bit of anti-vibration capability. All in all, the fit and finish, as I said before, is top notch on this light. So let's take a look at some night shots. Here's the 10 lumens. You can see it's actually plenty of lumens, especially with this deep reflector. You can shoot 10 lumens out quite a ways. Then we can step up to our next level, which is 100 lumens. Again, with that deep reflector, you can really shoot that 100 lumens out quite a distance. The Ultimate Edition is going to give you more of a flood up close. This one is going to be more of a spotlight, which personally I like a little bit better. We can jump up to the next level, which is 1400 lumens. You can see we are already shooting quite a distance. We can hit that sign down there. We can hit that sign. Quite a distance for 400 lumens. And then we can jump up to our 1300 lumens. No problem hitting the trees back there. You can see how powerful that beam is. No problem hitting the parking lot over there. This is a fantastic light for a search and rescue, for a vehicle kit, or for a home flashlight. For law enforcement, security, or even home applications, you can see 10 lumens even shines out to that building, which is amazing. Jump up to our 100 lumens, 400 lumens, and then our brightest 1300 lumens. Quite a spotlight in the palm of your hand. Here you can see the lantern feature of the back of the light. You can set it on a picnic table or anywhere that you need perimeter light. 30 lumens, plenty bright enough to light up the immediate area. Then you have the red light, which is not only good for reading in low light, but you have the special modes as well that you could signal with the tail cap of this light. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, taking a look at the TK47. Again, they do make an Ultimate Edition. It's about $15 to $20 more. That's going to give you more of a floody light, a brighter, floodier light This one is not quite as bright, but it does outshine by about twice as much, up to that 700 meters as you saw in the night shots. I think it's a very unique light. I think it's a nice light, again, for home security, for of course law enforcement, for something that you could keep in your car and use not only as a defensive weapon, but also, you know, as a hunting light, as a light to just reach out in a field if you were looking for something, a light to reach out in the back of your house, in your yard if you're looking for a dog or something like that. Again, I like the extra capability that the lantern and the red light gives you. So all in all, I think it's a great light. I love looking at unique lights like this, and it's nice to see another great light put out by Fenix. Another thing I really like about the TK47 is even in a big light, they've put the neutral white bulb in here, gives you better color reproduction. I've been trying to transition a lot of my lights over to neutral white. I prefer it. A lot of people like the cooler white, the more bluish tint, but I like the neutral white. I've even been looking for it in my headlamps lately, so I'm glad that this had it. This light's gonna run you about $140. Again, about $15 to $20 more for the Ultimate Edition. Personally, I like the regular edition better. I'm going to leave a link below to Amazon where you can check out more about the TK47, as well as a link to Fenix's website where they often run sales. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Please give it a big thumbs up for me. Make sure you leave me a comment below. Make sure you share this video to your friends and family on your social media. And if you haven't already done so, click that red subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.